What if I told you that your life could change, not in 30 days, not in 1 year, but in just 2 minutes a day? Sounds ridiculous, right? Because if success was really that easy, everyone would be rich, fit, disciplined, and unstoppable. But here's the truth. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they start too big and quit too fast. So I decided to test a famous idea from the book Atomic Habits. A rule so simple it feels like a cheat code. It's called the 2-minute rule. And I tried it for 7 days straight. What happened next shocked me. Because by day 3, my brain started to change. And by day 7, I realized something dangerous. Something that explains why most people stay stuck forever. So stay with me, because if you apply this one rule, you might never struggle with motivation again. Hey everyone, welcome to Mind Bits Experiments, where we test powerful ideas from famous books and see what happens in real life. If you like content about mindset, discipline, money, and psychology, make sure to subscribe. Because every video here is not just information, it's an experiment. Now let's begin. Part 1. The real problem. Why people fail. Let me ask you something. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start working out tomorrow? I'll start reading books. I'll start learning a new skill. I'll change my life. And then, tomorrow comes and nothing happens. Or you start strong. You go to the gym for 1 week, you read for 2 days, you wake up early for 3 mornings, and then your motivation dies. And suddenly, you're back to your old life. If this has happened to you, you're not weak, you're human, because your brain hates change. Your brain is designed to protect energy. And whenever you try to do something difficult, your brain sends one message: stop. This is uncomfortable. That's why discipline feels painful. But Atomic Habits explains something genius. The biggest enemy is not laziness. The biggest enemy is friction, the effort it takes to start. Because once you start, everything becomes easier. The problem is, most people never start. Or they start with goals that are too big, like, I will run 10 kilometers, I will read 50 pages a day, I will study for 2 hours every night. It sounds powerful, but it's a trap. Because big goals create big resistance, and big resistance creates procrastination. So James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, introduced a simple solution. Make the habit so small that your brain can't refuse. And that's where the 2-minute rule comes in.
Part 2. The 2-minute rule. The secret. The 2-minute rule is simple. If you want to build a habit, start with a version that takes less than 2 minutes. Not 20 minutes, not 1 hour, just 2 minutes. For example, instead of read every day, you start with read 1 page. Instead of work out daily, you start with do 5 push-ups. Instead of meditate 30 minutes, you start with sit down and breathe. It sounds too small. It feels stupid. It feels like it won't matter. But that's the magic. Because your brain doesn't fear 2 minutes. Your brain doesn't resist 2 minutes. And the real goal is not the result. The real goal is to become the type of person who shows up. Because habits are not about what you achieve. Habits are about what you become. And I wanted to test this idea, like a real experiment. So I created a simple challenge. For 7 days, I would follow the 2-minute rule, no matter what. No excuses. Even if I felt tired, even if I felt lazy, even if I felt like doing nothing. And I picked 3 habits. 1, reading. 2, exercise. 3, learning a skill. But I made them extremely small. Here were my rules. Reading, read 1 page only. Exercise, do 5 push-ups only. Learning, watch 2 minutes of educational content only. That's it. I promised myself, even if I stop after 2 minutes, the experiment still counts as a success. And this is where the story begins. Part 3, Day 1, the mindset shift. Day 1 was almost funny. I sat down, opened a book, read 1 page, and closed it. It felt like I did nothing. I did 5 push-ups and stopped. Then I watched 2 minutes of a video and turned it off. And I remember thinking, this is not real progress. This is too easy. This is pointless. But then something strange happened. Instead of feeling tired, I felt calm. Instead of feeling pressure, I felt control. Because for the first time, I wasn't fighting myself. I wasn't forcing my brain. I wasn't relying on motivation. I was simply proving one thing. I am the type of person who starts. And that is a powerful identity shift. Because once your identity changes, your life changes. So Day 1 was not about improvement. It was about building trust with myself. Illustratedly, Part 4, Day 2, the first surprise. On Day 2, I did the same thing. Read 1 page, 5 push-ups, 2 minutes of learning. But this time, something unexpected happened. I didn't stop at 1 page. I kept reading, not because I forced myself, but because the hardest part was already done. Starting was easy, and once I started, I wanted to continue. So my 1 page turned into 10 pages. Then my 5 push-ups turned into 20 push-ups, and my 2 minutes of learning turned into 15 minutes of learning. And I realized something dangerous. The 2-minute rule is not about doing less. It's about tricking your brain into doing more. It removes resistance. It breaks the mental wall. It makes discipline feel natural. And for the first time, I felt like habits weren't hard. They were automatic. But the biggest surprise came on Day 3.
Part 5, Day 3, the brain starts rewiring. Day 3 was the turning point because I woke up and my brain didn't ask, do I feel motivated? It didn't ask, do I feel like reading? It simply said, let's do the 2-minute habit. And that's when I understood, motivation is not the beginning of action. Action is the beginning of motivation. Most people wait to feel ready, but the truth is you never feel ready. You feel ready after you start. And by Day 3, I started craving the habits, not because I loved them, but because my brain started associating them with success. And success creates dopamine, and dopamine creates repetition, and repetition creates identity. So the habit was becoming part of me. And that's exactly what Atomic Habits teaches. Small actions repeated daily are stronger than big actions done once. Part 6, the real secret, why this works. Now, let's break down why the 2-minute rule works so well. It works because it uses psychology. Your brain has a system called the avoid pain system. Whenever something feels hard, your brain sees it as danger, so it pushes you to escape. That's why you scroll social media. That's why you eat junk food. That's why you procrastinate, because it's comfort. But when you reduce the habit to 2 minutes, your brain stops seeing it as danger. It becomes easy. And once something becomes easy, you do it without resistance. And once you do it daily, you build a streak. And once you build a streak, you start to fear breaking it. And now, the habit is stronger than motivation. This is how real discipline is built, not with intensity, but with consistency. Most people try to build habits like a rocket launch. They use motivation, they go extreme, they burn out. But the 2-minute rule builds habits like a snowball, slow, small, but unstoppable. Part 7, Day 5, the unexpected transformation. By Day 5, I noticed something weird. My confidence increased. Not because I achieved huge results, but because I kept promises to myself. And when you keep promises to yourself, your brain starts trusting you. And when your brain trusts you, your self-esteem grows. And when self-esteem grows, you stop feeling like a loser. You stop feeling stuck. You stop feeling weak because your actions prove your value. And this is the hidden benefit of habits. They don't just change your body, they change your identity. And identity is everything, because once you believe you are disciplined, you act disciplined. Once you believe you are productive, you act productive. Once you believe you are a winner, you stop tolerating losing habits. And by day 5, I started feeling like I was waking up from a long sleep. Part 8, Day 7, the final result. Day 7 came faster than I expected, and here's what happened. Even though my goal was only 2 minutes, I ended up doing way more. I finished multiple chapters of a book, my body felt stronger, and I learned more in 1 week than I did in the previous month. But the biggest result wasn't physical, it was mental, because I realized the brutal truth. Most people fail because they can't do hard things. They fail because they refuse to do small things. They refuse to do the boring things. They refuse to do the easy things daily. They want big change, but they don't respect small steps. And that's why their life never moves. Because life is not changed by motivation. Life is changed by repetition. And the 2-minute rule is the easiest way to start repetition. So if you want to use this method, here's exactly what you should do. Step 1. Choose one habit. Not 5, not 10, just one. Because most people fail because they try to change everything at once. Step 2. Shrink it into a 2-minute version. Make it so small it feels almost stupid. Examples: if you want to lose weight, put on your workout clothes. If you want to read more, read 1 page. If you want to meditate, sit down and close your eyes. If you want to start a business, write 1 sentence about your idea. Step 3. Do it daily for 7 days. No excuses, even if you're tired, even if you're sick, even if you're busy. Because your goal is not results. Your goal is to become the type of person who shows up. And after 7 days, you can increase slowly, but never increase too fast, because habits are built by consistency, not by motivation.
Part 10. Warning: the trap most people fall into. Now I need to warn you about something. The 2-minute rule is powerful, but only if you do one thing. You must keep it easy, because your ego will try to sabotage you. Your ego will say, "This is too small. This is not enough. I should do more." And yes, doing more is good, but only after the habit is stable. If you increase too fast, you destroy the system. Because the moment the habit becomes painful, your brain starts resisting again, and you fall back into the cycle of quitting. So don't chase intensity, chase consistency. That's the real secret. Part 11. A deep message. Storytelling closing. Think about it. A plane changes direction by only 1 degree, and after a few hours, it ends up in a completely different country. That's exactly how habits work. Your life doesn't change in one big moment. Your life changes in small, invisible decisions. 1 page a day, 1 push-up, 1 small action. And people laugh at small actions until they see the results. The truth is, small habits are silent, but they are powerful. And if you can master the ability to start, you can master anything, because the hardest part of any transformation is the beginning. So after testing the 2-minute rule for 7 days, I can say this: it's real, it works, and it's dangerous, because it removes excuses. It makes change feel easy. It makes discipline feel automatic, and it proves one simple truth. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And if your system is simple enough, you will win, every time. Now, I want you to try this. Pick one habit, make it 2 minutes, and do it for 7 days.
then come back and tell me what changed. And if you enjoyed this experiment, subscribe to Mind Bits Experiments, because this channel is built for one mission: testing the most powerful ideas from books and turning them into real-life results. Like the video if you want more experiments, and comment below what habit you're going to start today. Because remember, you don't need motivation, you need a system, and the system starts in just 2 minutes. See you in the next experiment.